back to Teen Life 101. Today we're talking about mental illness and mental health, and we're here joined with Cailey, who's going to tell us about her story. So can you tell us about your story and how you dealt with it?
Alright, so basically I was in grade 4 when I was diagnosed with ADD. ADD is attention deficit disorder, which is you have a lot of information filtering into your brain, and you have to sort from all that information of what information you need versus the information that is actually there. For a lot of my childhood, I did many irresponsible things because one of the symptoms of ADD was having impulsive behaviors and lying, and so I got into the habit of lying and doing really reckless, irresponsible things. And when I got older, I realized that I had done many bad things, which later had affected me in my teen years as an adolescent, and really affected how I looked at myself. It also affected the way I shaped my morals. I became very low in self-esteem because I couldn't figure out why I didn't, function like everybody else, or why I couldn't understand simple things like math. As I got older, I started having a lot of issues with my anxiety. Certain things could set me off, like if I would call my dad and I, wouldn't get an answer on the telephone, I would be expecting him home and my mind would start to wander, and I think something might have happened to him, like he got into a car crash when he maybe just stopped by the grocery store to get like a bag of milk or something. And for a long time, I didn't really know how to deal with it. So I went and I talked to my parents about it because, I felt really abnormal and I felt really different. I didn't really know what was going on with myself, so I got very scared and confused. And they took me to my doctor and I got diagnosed with anxiety. And so we learned that that anxiety goes along with most mental health issues, and that my anxiety was manageable. And so I started learning techniques like just kind of breathing when I get really panicked, or kind of just step back and think of what I'm doing. I often need to do that, but it really helps me get through the day.
How would you like to prove to other children that they are not alone if they're experiencing this in their life?
Well, the way I prove it is by doing this group, Shed the Light. I feel that it's very important for kids to know their resources and what's available to them, because I know growing up I wasn't aware of anything. I wasn't to the knowledge of knowing, I can go ask somebody, I need to go to the doctors because I'm not happy. I don't think anything makes me, happy anymore. I don't enjoy doing the things I used to do. Everything frustrates me. It takes me, maybe a half hour to get up in the morning because I just don't want to do anything with myself. So I think for me, it's that motivation to show other kids that they can get the help they really need if they really do need it.
Do you have any advice for parents dealing with children who have ADHD?
I really think that parents do need to really listen to their kids. I think personally myself, having my mom listen to me and say, what do you need from me, really helped me move forward, because if they're just saying, okay, well, you have your medication, you'll be fine, it's a lot more than that. It's, okay, well, do you need a tutor? Do you need to go to counseling? What do you need? It's really the parent offering that aid that maybe the child is unaware of.
So the parent recognizing some of the struggles that their child is having and looking for resources or support to address those concerns.
Good. Well, thank you so much for being so brave and telling us your story. We really appreciate it a lot, and you gave some really good advice out there for people who need it. Well, we're just going to take a short break right now. When we come back, we're going to talk to another young girl who would like to share her story with us.
Welcome back to Teen Life 101. Before the break, we were talking to Cailey about the effects of ADHD, and now we are joined with Shannon Nagy, who will be telling us her story.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We did an episode before on bullying. Can you tell us what your story is on that?
From grade 4 to grade 10, I've been bullied. I have a chronic pain condition, and the kids, it's in my right leg, and they would kick it, and they made it worse. They would call me a faker, they called me fat, they called me a liar. They made my condition get worse to the point where I needed to have surgery. They have, from grade 4 to grade 10, they have called me saggy naggy, fat, ugly, worthless. They used to draw pictures and slam into lockers. And at my first school, I've been to 2 schools. The first school was a lot of physical bullying. They would hit, they would punch. In the second school, I transferred school because physical bullying sucks. And then there I discovered verbal and online bullying. And there the kids would send me death threats on email. They would send me text messages saying not to go to school. Because of all that, I ended up just coping really negatively.
Have you found a way to deal with these issues?
I found not holding it all in helped so much. When I finally told someone and said, hey, look, this is what's been going on, that helps so much, just telling someone.
What advice do you give to kids who are being bullied?
Speak out, tell someone, even if a teacher, a family member, an adult, just tell someone or anything, because it makes it worse when you hold it in. If you keep all the feelings you're having in, it just makes you feel worse. It makes it harder to cope.
Yeah, for sure.
No child should ever experience what Shannon has experienced, and really I just want to compliment her for speaking up here and talking about this, and she's absolutely right. When we talk about strategies when you're being bullied, what can a child do? What should a youth do? The first is, we always say to kids, first try and ignore it. Ignore is a strategy, but sometimes that's not enough, right? And the bullying continues. So then you try and speak up about it. If you're able to, please don't do that. Stop bullying me. Why are you treating me like this? It isn't fair. You use your voice. And sometimes peers will get involved and speak up for someone who's, on the receiving end of bullying. Mm-hmm. And then the third strategy is, if it continues, you got to tell an adult. Mm-hmm. And get the adults involved, parents, teachers, counselors. Get adults involved, because it's not okay what she's experienced over such a long time.
How does bullying affect mental health?
Bullying affects, oh my gosh, it causes anxiety, depression, suicidal thinking, suicidal thoughts. It could affect eating, self-esteem. It can affect self-harming tendencies. It can change so much. You can go from this bright, chipper person to a puddle.
Not going to school sometimes.
Not going to school.
Not being able to focus and get your work done.
Harder to vocalize what you want. It's harder to talk to people. I found with myself, I got more skittish. It's whenever anybody would touch me, or because the physical bullying, if anybody would touch me, I would shoot straight up in the air and get scared. A lot of people, they feel uncomfortable around other kids. They experience social anxiety. They'll experience some people from bullying will experience post-traumatic stress disorder, which it's just from all the trauma.
Did you have any support at school?
At school, I had no support. No. The principal said in front of the school that I was lying about it, and the teachers said that I was lying. So that I had no support at all from the school. I told the teachers, I told the principal, they did nothing. That's where like Gloria and DCAFs came in, and I got help through them, and they stopped it.
Well, thank you so much for being brave and sharing your story with us. I'm really sorry that all that had to happen to you.
She is a very brave girl.
Yes.
She is. And to come on here and talk in front of a camera, awesome.
We'd just like to say thank you to Gloria and all of our guests today, and as well as Rogers for airing our show. Be sure to check us out on Teen Life 101 on Facebook and _Teen Life 101 on Twitter.
Until next time.
See ya.